I'm Carl Hudson and I'm a critical care paramedic here in Carnarvon Air Ambulance. I've been an air ambulance paramedic for 22 years this June. I've worked for the Wales Air Ambulance since 2003 when it started here in Carnarvon, and I've been an ambulance paramedic since 1994. Sure, my role here is critical care paramedic, which is it is essentially a paramedic with lots of layers of additional training on top of it. We do an awful lot of additional training in terms of university and in terms of in-house training to give us clinical skills and surgical skills that are required to do our job here, dealing with critical care, emergency, trauma and medical incidents. I think the thing I enjoy most about my role is, first of all, we work with a great team here in Carnarvon. It's a fantastic team, we all get on really, really well. But I would have to say that one thing that really stands out for this role is that you make a difference. You know, you make a difference to the people who you attend to. And sometimes those people will come back and they will want to meet the team who helped them. And that's really great. You know, you can see the difference that you've made with your clinical skills and the help from the whole team, as well as the wider teams from the ambulance service and the police, etc. The hardest thing air ambulance paramedics have to deal with on a daily basis, it's quite difficult really. I suppose you've obviously got the emotional aspects of every job that you go to. We deal, as air ambulance paramedics, a critical care service, we deal with the worst of the worst, if you like. So we deal with some really traumatic medical and obviously trauma incidents as well. So dealing with those can be quite difficult, but we do have outlets that we can talk to. We have a peer support team, so we do have various ways of managing that, but I would probably imagine that that is the most difficult way, difficult things that we have to deal with within this kind of role. As well as dealing with relatives, as well as the actual patient themselves. Yeah, here at the base at Carnarvon, it's ideally placed. We've got got a 360 overview for the weather. We are in visual reference of the members of the public who can come to the cafe, they can come to the airport and see us, watch us working from the fence. So yeah, Carnarvon base is great. It provides access to most areas of Wales, as well as being just a beautiful place and with stunning scenery as well. A standard week for me, for working hours, I'm contracted to do 37.5 hours a week, but that varies the way that our shifts work. Our shifts are 12 hours long, 8 in the morning till 8 at night, but we can quite often and easily overrun. If a job should come in late or it takes longer, we can go on. It's not unheard of to finish at 2, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. Although thankfully that isn't too often, but it can happen. But 12 hours is a standard day that we do. Yeah, I've never actually worked for another air ambulance charity, but as part of our role here in Wales, we do often work with other air ambulances, you know, on major incidents or on large incidents. We'll call in extra support from teams maybe from West Midlands or from the North West, both of whom I've worked with, and they all provide mutual aid as we would for them should they need it too. Right, my most cherished memory as an air ambulance paramedic, there's lots to choose from, but one that does stand out is many years ago, going out to a young lad who'd had an accident with a boat and had horrific leg injuries from a propeller. We managed to stabilise him, get him to hospital. He made a great recovery and we're still friends to this day. So this is many years ago now and he's gone on to have a family and children of his own, and it's fantastic. I've always been interested in all things automotive, whether it be planes, cars, trains. It's always been a passion for me. So when the opportunity came up to work for the Wales Air Ambulance, which was establishing itself in North Wales in 2003, I jumped at the chance. I applied, thankfully was very lucky and got on, and I've done everything I can to stay here. I absolutely love the dual role that we have as a TCM, technical crew member, which is with a flying hat on. When we're actually going out to a job, I'm doing lots of aviation bits. And then when we land, I change that hat and put my medical hat on and become the paramedic. So that dual role is really interesting to me and provides a nice little bit of diversity in my job. And the cost to the charity to run all the aircraft throughout Wales is around about £12.5 million per annum. How that breaks down per job is difficult to say because it depends on where the job is, how far you've got to travel to get there, and your onward travel to the hospitals, etc. But I would imagine around about £2,500 per incident is a good average. The Wales Air Ambulance charity is absolutely crucial. Without the charity there wouldn't be an air ambulance service. All of that is charity donations. All the charity donations run the aircraft. So it's absolutely vital that people support the charity, because without it there simply wouldn't be the service that we have now. From working inside the charity, I can say that the support that we receive as a charity makes a huge difference. It literally makes a difference between life and death sometimes, and it's absolutely vital in these rural parts of Wales as well as the urban areas that we continue to have this funding, because this critical care service in Wales is absolutely needed and makes a huge difference.